Welcome back to Capitol Review. I'm Mark Hall. President Trump and his administration continue to talk about the importance of tariffs. The president says they are needed after countries have taken advantage of the U.S. across the board for decades. And joining us now is Dr. Omekongo Dibinga, the founding director of Upstander International. He's also a political science professor at American University. Dr. Dibinga, welcome back to Capitol Review.
Thanks for having me.
We're talking tariffs. Let's talk about President Trump. Is he playing chess or is he playing checkers?
I don't know what he's playing, because this is not a chess move that's working in the benefit of anybody in the United States. So if I had to pick one, it would be closer to checkers, because this is not very sophisticated, and it's already hurting Americans every single day with the level of uncertainty and unpredictability that this man is providing for Americans. It's very scary.
I mean, we're talking about the implementation of tariffs, and then he also talked about pausing some tariffs. The back and forth, is that creating maybe some instability with his messaging? Oh,
absolutely. And people have to understand that when Donald Trump says pause, he means stop, right? It's just his way of saving face. He doesn't want to show that he's backed down. He's backed down of Canada as it relates to the auto tariffs. He's backed down of Mexico. So when he says pause, it gives people a little bit of leeway to say, okay, maybe we're going to see what's coming. But Americans can't plan like that. People can't plan whether they're going to pay their tuition or their rent based on whether they're going to have a job or whether their company, they're pulling American products off the shelves in Canada. How's a company going to plan for that? Oh, maybe April 2nd is going to change and we're going to be able to start. Canada's not playing like that. So it's really a real problem for many Americans, because his nature of just doing things, it kind of seems on a whim or as being a slave to the stock market. Most Americans, that doesn't work for.
You mentioned Canada. Prime Minister Trudeau literally talked to the American people in somewhat of an unprecedented move the other day. What do you think his messaging was, or why do you think he decided to address the American people directly?
And so many people from Canada have been speaking out. He wants to let them know that this is not about you as an American people, that we love each other. He's made it clear this is about one person, what Donald Trump is doing to hurt Americans as well as hurt Canadians. And so I think it's very important. I mean, we're seeing Americans getting booed, singing the national anthem at games in Canada, right? Because people are so hurt. And so I think it's very important for leaders in Canada to let people know that if you challenge Trump, these things can change, but we are going to do what's necessary to defend ourselves.
Could the tariffs or this trade war have an impact, especially with our allies long term?
It's already having an impact. Whenever your allies are saying we are looking for other markets to be able to ship our goods to, talk about Mexico and Canada, then the United States has already lost. And Donald Trump's not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. I mean, we're just 2 months into this. And so what if we lose Canada and Mexico as a trading partner to other countries? It's absolutely having an effect. Cars that come into Canada from Japan and other places, they're not dealing with these tariffs, right? Other products that are coming in from other countries are not dealing with that. So we are absolutely going to be losing our most crucial trading partners with this process. So long term and even short term, it's already having devastating effects.
If you were advising the president, given the way the situation is now, what's the next best move he can make and still save face?
The next best move he could take is to get rid of all tariffs, this whole policy. He's going against a policy with the USMCA that he negotiated during his first presidency. Stop all of this talk about 30-month pause, 2 months pause, telling farmers to go and have fun with whatever's going on. Have real, intelligent, product-based tariffs. Tariffs are good things when used properly. It was tariffs that got us into the Depression in the 30s, right? So we're going to be real honest about it. So be mindful, be specific, and stop having these blanket tariffs that are hurting Americans, hurting Canadians, hurting Mexico, and ultimately hurting the world.
Dr. Dibinga, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.